Okay.
What am I doing? Still in this little room smoking. I'm still a kid on the
Hi,
run,
hi, Ellen, and
watching those
Kaya.
eyes and learning.
Um, Obviously, let's go from
Who am I
Hello,
welcome
really?
to our
hello.
session.
26 and still
It seems there's some
searching.
people that will be joining soon. Yeah, it's off to a bit of a slow start, so just give us about 5 to 10 minutes to get started. We'll just give some people time to kind of sign on to the meeting. And then, yeah, we'll get started probably if we, as soon as we've got a few more entrepreneurs in the room. For
Okay,
now, you can
cool.
just enjoy the music if you guys are hearing it in the background,
I thought it was playing on my PC. I was surprised.
yeah?
What's wrong, what's right? And which side is my body standing? Is your way mine? And is mine and yours fitting? Wanting more, but seeing myself disappearing. Playing
Instagram comes pay attention.
Hi, everyone. Sorry to be late.
No stress. Hi Sarah, welcome,
Hi,
welcome,
I got a
welcome.
phone call just as I was about to log on at 3 o'clock. So
No worries.
you were having
We
a happy
actually
jam
just
anyway, it seems.
yes. So we decided we'll give people about 5 to 10 minutes to join,
Okay,
because there were just two individuals in the room before you and Defo joined. So we'll probably get started at around 10 past 3.
great.
In the meantime, yeah, you guys can just like enjoy the music, share where you're joining us from. And as usual, how are you feeling for the day? And yeah, how's the weather where you are?
completely forgot about our session tomorrow. So I've double booked now. So in the morning I have to meet Lucha Lunako, and it's quite an important meeting. Because it's about like stipends and also to see if they can link us to funders, so I can't extend that. And then I'm going to Langa. So I'll be back Southern Suburbs size after 1. So yeah, either we can meet after 1.
Well, sorry about that, guys. I didn't know that you guys could hear other sounds that I was playing in the background. My apologies. But yeah, so I think we can get started. We learn every day. I'm taking it as a positive learning curve. Now I know. So if you're sitting in a Zoom meeting and you're playing Spotify, you're playing your computer audio, don't play anything else. Just play what you're intending to play, because everyone can hear everything else that you're playing on your computer. All right, everyone. We're good to get started. Yeah, welcome to the collective feedback session for end of phase 1 of our fluid systems program for 2024. Yeah, it's quite a pleasure and an honor to have you guys in the room today. We would have obviously hoped to have a whole lot of your fellow change makers also available in the space or in attendance, but I think it's better than not having anyone else. So we welcome you to the space and we're grateful to have you here. I believe all of you had attended the first collective session, feedback session that we had at the end of Bridging the Gaps. So the process is generally going to be similar. This time around, though, Zamilia is going to walk you through some of the questions that we have. We'll again have 5 questions. It's about your expectation, not expectation. I'd rather start with how's the program been for you so far? What has been surprising? What are some of the expectations? And we've got a question around collaboration. So just give me a sec to sort this out real quick. Get started. Just need to. Yeah. So when we get into the discussions and we go through some of the areas of discussion, please feel free to unmute yourself and kind of play a role in the discussion. If not, then if you really have a burning comment to make, or you've got a question, or you need clarity on anything that we might be asking, please do feel free to kind of add it to the chat, and I'll do my best to track that, as I'll be taking note of all the inputs that you guys have, and basically how your experience has been and what you have got to say about the topic in discussion or the question that we would otherwise be needing your inputs on. So bit of house rules. So the process, like I was saying, Samila will ask the question and then we can get into a conversation about that question. We'll dedicate about 15, well, depending on inputs, we'll dedicate up to 15 or 20 minutes to each section. And like I mentioned, there's about 5 sections that we'll deal with. So with that said, which is I can share my screen so that you guys can see different sections. Can you all see the screen?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, cool. All right. Cool. So, yeah, I'll go on mute right now and welcome Zamila to the stage to kind of lead the conversation and the discussion for us to kind of, to get cracking on this activity. And then at the end, we'll also just leave room for any other questions that maybe you guys might have. And if we still have time, I'd like to quickly just take the opportunity to walk you guys through Babele and some new things that we'll be using Babele for as kind of like an introduction to that. We will have a session dedicated to that as soon as we've got all the content and the program shared with you all. But yeah, this would be like an initial kind of high level sharing with you guys around what you will be using Babele for. So phase 2 and phase 3, aside from just going through learning content and completing activities.
Hi, everybody. Well, at this point, you already know my name is Amile. Welcome to the session, guys. We're very happy to have you. I know that we don't have a lot of people, but we're just so appreciative of you guys who were able to make it to the session, just dedicate some time with us, because we love to, to keep in touch with you, check in on you, and just get as much feedback as we possibly can to ensure that going forward, the program is beneficial to you. We're doing the right things that are going to help you personally as well as your business. So I know we have a set of questions, but I would just like to ask before we get into the questions, I just want to know how you guys are feeling. So if you don't mind, feel comfortable as well to turn on your cameras. Let's engage, let's talk, let's just have fun. It's a safe space, as you guys know. I just want to know how you're feeling. So this could be like business-wise, in your personal life, just checking in on you guys. How is everybody? How are things going? How are you feeling? Just before we get into the main questions. So as I said again, anyone can go. Just unmute yourself. Go ahead. Turn on your video if possible. We love to see you, as you can see us. So yeah, would really appreciate that. But yeah, man, how you guys feeling? How are things going? Can be personally, business-wise, as I asked.
Oh, let me Let me break that ice.
Thank
Um,
you.
hey everyone. It's been a good week. Besides all drama. Um, so I've been working on a collaboration project to put together a bid for a canteen. Um, this is since I think March, April. Yeah, since then till now. So last week we had our presentation. It went well. And then this week, guys, procurement from that side, they asked for a financial summary of financial projections. Yeah, it's been submitted. I think it's nerve-wracking because we are playing in a league of big boys. So, you know, you don't have 10 million in your account sitting there, you probably have 5,000 Rand. And you know, your competitors are people who have been in the game for long. So that's basically it from my end. Yeah.
Thank you so much for that, therefore. Thank you for letting us know, what's been going on. And look, you're a big dog yourself, hey? Because you are operating in the space, the money will come. The money always comes. So listen, we wish you well all the time. If you need any help, to always reach out to us. And thank you so much for, that update. We love that for you. Anyone else wants to go?
I just want to say well done to Tefo. That's a big thing to
Yeah.
submit. Yeah, so well done. That's a big thing, and I hope it goes your way.
No, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Sarah.
Okay, seeing as my mic's on, I'll keep going. Yeah, it's been a bit of a slow week for me. Got to drum up some more customers. Got to get some more. Yeah, my business strictly is only operating 1 day a week at the minute, and really to be financially comfortable, it's got to be at least 3 days a week. So got to drum up some more business. But like Tefa said, I mean, last week an email came in from someone who I've been a housing estate who I contacted sort of 18 months ago and have been following up that long. It just takes longer than you think in a lot of these cases. And I find that a little frustrating because the activist in me just sees it as such a good idea, and I just want to get on and I just want to do this and I want the whole world to do it. And why is it being so slow? So mixed week, but every week gets more refined, I guess. And hopefully we get good leads coming through. There's always leads, so we just keep on going. Thanks.
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you so much for that update. And yeah, man, like it takes longer than you think, but it will happen at the end. It happens at the time that it's supposed to happen. So that's what I can say to that. It happens at the time that it was supposed to happen. So yeah, you hang in there week after week, it gets better.
Thanks for the encouragement.
Ellen?
There. Is that better?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. I never blink and know with this stupid phone. And I can't get my video. Oh, there we go. So now I'm on video too, I think. Well, it's been interesting. I've been sick, but it's definitely getting better. It's just been a few days. And let's see, I've got a mentor now who I'm meeting with next week, Jade, and I'm excited about that. And I've been in contact a bit with the Sustainability Institute and the Lion Duck Eco Village, and I'm excited about that. And yeah, other than finances, I'm doing fine. Life is good. What can you say? It is. It's slow, slower than I wish. and at the same time, it really teaches me patience. So that's pretty much where I'm at.
No, absolutely, absolutely. Life itself is precious. Everything else is going to fall in place, but life, the essence of life itself, it starts with life, it starts with good health, it starts with a positive mindset, and everything else follows after that. Thank you so much for that, Ellen.
Thank you for
Hiya.
you being there.
Hello. It's been a good week. Just raining. So but it was a good week. I'm just glad it's ending because I'm just trying to be busy this weekend. There's a few things I need to fix because of the rain. There's like structural change I just need to get fixed there by the farm. But I'm just hoping that it won't rain the weekend so that I don't get distracted. But yeah, it's been good.
Thank you, Kaya. Thank you so much for that. And again, I think in front of everybody else, like I told you on WhatsApp, I'm saying it again to everybody else, like we like to congratulate you guys on the things that you are doing and the pursuits that you're going after. So again, very much congratulations, on showcasing at the Waterfront Mall, and all these opportunities that are coming your way. Like we're hoping for more and keep us updated and just wish you luck in every endeavor that you partake in.
Thank you very much.
Great. Is that everybody else? Guys, we're our people. I mean, hello. But anyway, it's okay.
I think we've got Aluta
Oh,
in the room as
Alta,
well.
I am so sorry.
And Ezile.
Actually, I remember actually admitting you guys into the room. It's just that my screen is not showing everybody else. So forgive me for that. Aluta, do you want to go ahead?
And our boss.
Oh, actually, I hadn't Tax speak like in the background, but I didn't notice that she was actually in the room. Welcome, Tax. Sorry. Aluta.
Hi guys. So for me, I've just ever since the last session, I've just been reflecting on what the program has meant for me, what I've gotten out of it so far. And I was actually thinking that it's sort of taken a lot of the guesswork out of it, the anxiety of when you're starting something, you don't know what to do, you don't know how to start, you don't know how to structure things. And I think it's as well given me confidence. I feel like I've gotten tools that I can use from now until onwards. And also another thing I would like to say is about Alison Faraday. I think those sessions, I don't know, those sessions were very good. And it's something that a person never thinks about when you're busy doing your hustles and everything like that. So yeah.
Wow, thank you so much for that, Aluta. And like I'd really like to commend you, for the consistency also that you've been keeping on the program, because not a lot of people at idea phase are, as positive minded or, persistent in the pursuit to actually like crystallize that idea and go forward with it. So I commend you a lot for that. And thank you so much for that feedback on the sessions that you guys have been having or have had with Alison. I think even myself, I can also say that because I was very lucky enough to actually jump onto the program and have a session with Alison, and really it's just changed my life in a way. Like it's something that I would have never thought of doing, outside of this program. So thank you so much for sharing that with us. Ezile has sent a message. Ezile, you are actually the one. Okay, so Ezile has asked us to please excuse. So I'm guessing that Ezile, you're jumping off for a second. Is that correct? Okay. No, it's okay. You don't have to say anything if you don't have anything to say. Lucas and Tax, do you guys also want to go? So I don't want to give that opportunity only to the entrepreneurs. Leave you guys out.
Yeah,
I'm all
maybe
good.
we
I'm
can.
all good. I'm just a fly on the wall. Lucas exposed me. I'm all good.
My bad, my bad. Yeah, I really, I thought about it, but I was like, actually, we should. I'm all right. I'm all right. I'm super excited, guys. Like, we are gonna be doing some amazing stuff, going into this too. We're really excited to getting you guys involved with the next round of content that we have for you on Babine. There's quite a lot of things going on in the background of ship brokering, just making sure that we can support you as best as possible. I'm like really looking forward to hearing how phase one has been for you and how we can better, position the program to kind of right, to support you even more and in a better way that actually helps you to move the needle or enables you to move the needle. So like aside from one thing else, I'm really excited. And I think as Ile is saying, she's in the kitchen and it's noisy. Izzy, so if you can hear us, please do feel free to give your inputs in the chat. I'm gonna be very active in the chats. Otherwise, I mean, it's gonna be a conversation today. Ciao.
Just Okay, that is everybody. Well, I guess I can say that I'm feeling great. I'm feeling very excited. I love every opportunity that I get to interact and speak to you guys. Personally, I would say that, jumping into the program and meeting you guys and the incredible work that you do has been like the highlight of my life. The opportunity just to know what it is that you guys are doing, the positive things that you are doing in your different spaces. I think I'm just very lucky to have met you guys and be working with you. So very excited. And I think at this point we can get into the questions. And yeah, please just feel free to give us answers. I'm not gonna pick on anybody. But yeah, I'll just love at least for everybody to have something to say because we're trying to get as much information as we can, feedback as we can from you guys, so that yeah, we ensure that going forward we have covered almost like all the questions that we need to get from you guys. Cool. Okay, so what has been your guys' biggest highlights in the program so far? So your answers can include maybe some of the things that have happened in bridging the gaps, but more particularly from I think April to at this point, just end of June, which has been phase one. What has been the biggest highlight for you in the program in phase one? Or you can also touch a bit on bridging the gaps. The four.
Yeah, for me would be having access to industry experts. Though I have not I haven't had a session with my business mentor as yet. I had a session with Dennis, and it's quite interesting, and just amazing of how he understands the food and bev industry. Maybe I know it's in his field, but beyond that, he would basically make examples of scenarios in other business fields. And to have access to such people, it's actually something great. One would say we are privileged, you know?
Thank you so much for that. Therefore, does anyone else wants to go? Your biggest highlights in the program so far? Or your favorite thing that has happened that blew your mind?
Let me just throw in there as well, being able to develop a product and not just letting it be a dream.
Wow, that's amazing. Sarah?
I think it sort of dovetails what Tefa was saying, just having access to the masterclasses. I mean, each masterclass has been very different. We got a couple of follow-up sessions with Alison and Dennis, which is also very valuable. So yeah, exactly. Access to people who are running small businesses, are working with business ideas, and just having access to those people who we wouldn't ordinarily have access to, because it just so helps to just learn by speaking to others who are trying to do the same things. So it's really encouraging and helpful. So the access to people has been great. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that, Sarah. And I love the fact that you also, mentioned the follow-up sessions as well. I'm happy to know that you guys have been finding them useful, because I believe that we'll have more follow-up sessions from the master classes that we're going to have in phase 2 as well, because we believe that those master classes, you're able to then, or rather the follow-up sessions, you're able to then personalize whatever it is that the topic is, and then just really hone into your specific situation or business in that regard. So I'm happy to know that you guys have been loving that. Anybody? Okay, Ellen, I know that you said that you're more comfortable writing in the chat. That's also okay. Please feel free to do that as well, guys. If you're not comfortable speaking, leave maybe your answers to the questions in the chat. No one else wants to go? Biggest highlights from the program so far? Are you guys happy to?
Here's another one just to shake up the mood and put everybody in a good mood. Yeah, biggest highlight, the invoices that keep coming from Lucas, hey? It's not that we are ignoring them. We will sort them out, my brother.
Thank you so much for that, Aluta. Yeah, it definitely does give us a happy mood. Thank you for that. It's a lot of them, hey? Like 2 emails like a week.
Yeah, no, don't worry. We will sort them out, Pralu, very soon.
Thank you, Aluta. Great.
Love to hear it. Please, eh?
And don't you guys like love it when like maybe we have to ask you about something and Lucas is like, it's in the past emails. Please go have a look at your email. We sent it on email. Just go through your emails. And it's a lot of them.
It's a lot. It's a lot. But yeah, we're taking time. We're taking time, Pralu. We're taking time.
Thank you. Thank you for that, Aluta.
Yeah.
No one else? Biggest highlight, no one else? Okay, so are you guys happy to move on to the next question? Cool. Lucas, are you going to move the board to the second question?
No, wait, sorry. I think Aluta has something to say. It was Stefo who was saying the voices, eh?
Yeah, no, I just wanted to say mistaken identity. That wasn't that wasn't me. So but anyway, I can share some highlights. I think
Oh, sorry.
the session with Dennis, that was quite nice because we ended up going deeper into approaching customers, and in that session we sat down and discussed exactly the customers that I need to approach. I mean, to a point where he gave me email addresses and numbers. So that was also nice. And I did the same thing with Alison, focused more on approaching customers. So that was also really nice.
Wow, amazing. Thank you so much for that, Aluta. So let's move on to the second question so we don't run out of time. This one, please guys, be as honest as you can. Like, we need to hear it. We want it. Frustrations. What has been frustrating? Maybe the timing of the master classes, Are we annoying you when we ask you to complete tasks and activities? Like, what's been frustrating? Like, this is something that's kind of like hindering you from fully participating in the program, or just, I don't know, annoying and frustrating. Therefore,
I'm just gonna shoot my shot there. I think the frustrating thing is developing a product without any finance. And how I base that on, or what I base that on, is that people and banks don't fund ideas. They fund a product that's already been developed, and they want to see traction. And all of these are very time consuming, you know. And if you lose focus on one, you slip up. And it has a ripple effect. So yeah, I think for me, developing a product without finance, although you are supposed to be using food waste, but going to find the food waste, you need fuel. You need to come back, allocate time to actually develop the product, do communications, and find somebody else to develop it and see and do comparisons. So that's one. And two, I'll think of number two now.
Thank you. Therefore, no, I think that frustration like goes to each and every entrepreneur. I don't think it goes without saying that like it's a very common problem or challenge that most entrepreneurs face, especially in product development stages. So okay, I'm going to direct this question to you, therefore. In like an unusual, very highly unlikely to happen world or situation, how would you prefer things to be done to kind of tackle that challenge? I don't know if that question is making sense.
Yeah, that's a very simple answer. Firstly, to have a father like Mark Zuckerberg who has money, who can give me the money, and then I can find people and allocate them maybe a compensation thing, a fund to say, I'm going to pay you this much per month. I need you to develop a perfect recipe for me, and you must note it down. So having a funder who will back this up. But like I said, in reality, nobody's going to fund an idea. You need to say, I've tried this. These are the recipes that I've tried. This is the processes that we go with. This is the kind of packaging we are looking at. If we do this, we'll have maybe five, food technologists or food chefs and so forth. So you really need to come back with your paperwork and say, these are my receipts, and this is what I found.
So it definitely does take a lot of work from the entrepreneur at the beginning.
Yeah. So, for example, for me, so I'm delivering samples this month, but for me to do one recipe, I need 2 to 3 days, because I need to make the pasta. I need to wait for it to dry. I need to cook it. I need to bake it and see in what format it comes up. If it doesn't work, then I shelve it and then probably do another batch of pasta in the evening, go to sleep while it dries overnight, come back, test it, see if it works. If it doesn't work, yeah, basically. And then by the time I get to the third one, I realize, oh goodness, today is Tuesday evening or Wednesday early hours of the morning. What have I done on other things, So that's how consuming it can be at times.
No, makes sense. Yeah, I was about to actually ask Ellen to elaborate and expand that that comment. Please feel free to do that for us, Ellen, or maybe you don't even have to turn on your camera, but it would also be nice to, I know you said comfortable more with text, but yeah, I would really love to hear you expand on microfinance or what you mean by that.
Okay. Can you hear me? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So
Okay.
what I know about microfinance is what I guess happened more in Bangladesh and a few other places around the world that are quite really much poorer than we all are here, even, and but very um, very small amounts of continuous finance in the beginnings, even at the idea stage, have proven, well, it depends actually on who it is, but generally with a group of women that that microfinance will get paid off um, when the when the business actually starts to make money. Um, so there are examples of this around the world. I just don't know of anything here. So instead of waiting for a business to already be going and then getting finance, um, the idea of microfinancing, which is, it's small amounts of money, but maybe consistently over time, a certain amount of time, first 6 months, first year even, um, can can just be enough to get the system going. Does that make sense?
Absolutely, absolutely. And as you were talking about that, I kind of had the idea of maybe you are also talking about crowdfunding. I know there's things like, yeah, like crowdfunding, people who, fund ideas right at the beginning, but it's also quite something that, I would love to see if we have that in the space, like maybe in South Africa, is there such, because also from an investor's side, you invest in something that is kind of proven because you want return on investment. So you can kind of see the frustration from both ends. No one wants to lose money, but also at the same time, the person who's got the drive and the idea needs something to run with at the beginning. Cool.
Yes, that's right.
Sarah
Go
has
ahead.
said that the sessions can sometimes be long or time consuming. Maybe 1 hour 30 minutes could be a possibility. Okay. Okay, so Lucas is going to take note of that. Cool. Anyone else? Anything frustrating? What has been frustrating for you as an entrepreneur? Or maybe what has been frustrating maybe in the program itself? As Sarah has mentioned, that sometimes the sessions are a bit too long. Anything else?
I'll speak from my side. Let's say in the second part of the program, because initially there was a lot of like we could see what is due when in terms of Babele. So when there was not much communication in terms of like what is due and what's not due, so you wouldn't know if you're coming or going at some point. So that was that. So you don't know if you're in the right track or that kind of situation. So it was a bit frustrating. So you don't wanna miss maybe important parts.
Yes, no, that makes sense. Well, the exciting news is that we are soon going to be back on Babe Day, and activities will have, dates and deadlines. So and as we already are doing, trying our best to also like remind you guys when things are due so that you don't miss important, tasks and activities. because some of them are quite important, like, you know, your 6 months business plan, that's like compulsory for us to have that. Your social enterprise charter, those are the things that some of our entrepreneurs did miss, but like very important tasks and activities. So thank you so much for that, Kaya.
Yeah, yeah, and I just want to add, I think it came out of one of the kind of one-on-one conversations we're having with one of your fellow cohort members, is that she felt like BTG was quite intense. There was a lot that happened in BTG, and then poof, phase one, and there isn't like a lot of continued activities happening in Babele. And it was a bit challenging for her to kind of see, okay, so where's the business development still happening here? I see a lot of personal development happening, but now, you know, it's like we stopped on the business development side of things. And I must say, it might be because we also didn't really communicate it clearly. But the idea around how we kind of structured things going into the first phase of the program was that you guys got so much content during Bridging the Gaps, and you kind of speedily went through some of that content. You know, some people completed all the activities, other people didn't complete all the activities, and even in between some of those activities, there were things like empathy mapping, there were things like value proposition canvases, learning cards, test cards, tools that you don't necessarily just use once, but are tools that you can use on an ongoing process. And so us holding back and slowing down on Babele was actually kind of intentional, in that we wanted to give you the room to now properly digest what you have access to, because access was continuous. And for you to kind of, there are some entrepreneurs that went back and they like refined their mission and vision, and they've been constantly editing those type of things. But yeah, so the idea was, you've got all this content, you've got all these resources. Now, let's actually focus on a different area of your development as an entrepreneur. Let's hone in on the personal development with continued access to Babele and all the different activities and resources that are there. So it was like, okay, let's slow down on using this platform and actually look at a different area. Yeah, that was the idea. But but yeah, I will take note, or we'll take note of the fact that we should have probably communicated that better, and kind of like shared that yeah, we're moving into this phase. We won't be using Babele a lot, and these are the reasons, very clear in terms of, so that we can avoid the frustration around expectations and not being unclear, not being very clear on what it is that kind of helps you to move forward with the program.
Hi, will we be going a bit faster now with the business side of things, now that we're over the personal development stuff?
Yeah, it's all dependent on how quickly you want to move, in terms of your own like entrepreneurial journey. There will be more activities in phase two. There will be more master classes. We're gonna have other activities on Babele again still. And in the same breath, there will be more like online sessions that we'll be doing. So we'll be kind of combining now one-on-one sessions, and online masterclass, masterminds are coming back, work together shops are also coming back. They are, however, going to be some activities that will be optional and will be self-booked, because for some entrepreneurs, it may be relevant for them to partake in the activities or book the activities, and for other entrepreneurs, it might not be very relevant. So, for example, there's going to be consultation hours, like something similar to what you guys had with Dennis, where you can now have a one-on-one discussion with the expert that has been featured in the masterclass. But we'll be closely managing that, so that you know, it is available for entrepreneurs. And even if you want to have the session, it will have to kind of, you know, be managed by us to see what are the outcomes that you'd be looking for. What are the outcomes that we'll be looking for in terms of what you want to get out of the one-on-one session, and then matching that with, okay, so this is what you received, and this is what happened. But yeah, I mean, Tux is asking the question of, or describing what you mean by faster. I'm guessing it's more of a question, do you mean in the program or do you mean in your own personal journey? But yeah, please go ahead and
No.
and make it a bit
Okay,
clearer.
so the bridging the gaps was fast, and we're very much you know how it went. It was quite interactive for those weeks. And then since then, it's just been a lot slower. There's maybe less activities. There has been master classes, but I love the idea because I tend to be more of a one-on-one person. And I love the idea that we'll be doing more of that and more master classes. And because Lucas has kindly now given me a full template for a business plan that I need to get done like tomorrow. We won't happen tomorrow, but within the next very short while to get my system up and running here, I hope. Um, then because I'm more in the idea phase, I suppose, um, I the in a way, the faster stuff comes, the more challenging it is, but the more engaged and focused I am. Whereas maybe the last couple of months, I've maybe gone off on tangents a bit, or there's just been a lot of sort of gaps in between. Whereas with bridging the gaps, there wasn't very many gaps. It was a bridge, or maybe a series of bridges. Okay, so I hope that explains. And maybe I'm asking that because of having gotten this full on business plan that I now need to write now. And, you know, so yeah, the more support I can get for that, the better, the sooner, I suppose. Make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, no, definitely. And I guess maybe to give like I don't know if it's clearer for tax. But yeah, on my end, totally understand. So programmatic speed. So basically, just as a closing remark around this whole discussion, personal development, or at least in my humble opinion, it's a very focused and concentrated activity that requires, I would say, a lot of reflection. And especially if you're engaging with like a personality test or like some external information kind of telling you more about yourself and telling you, okay, how do you behave or who you are. It is I mean, we welcome the feedback on how you guys' experience was, particularly with that part of the program. But when we were incorporating this section or this activity within the program, we're very intentional to also try to at least give you the room and not bombard you with a lot of other stuff that might otherwise not make the process impactful or progressive for you, to give you like the room to digest what it is that you just received, the process that you just went through, and also give you the opportunity to bounce off the feedback with the individual that can talk you through that process, that can talk you through what it means now that you know your Enneagram or you know your Enneagram number, and kind of digest that, and also with that kind of see where your compass is, like in terms of direction, in terms of goals. So by giving you the tool and the template for goal setting and talking about the SWOT analysis, not just for your business, but for you on a personal basis, was basically the thought process around that. And kind of honing and focusing in on that was needed time for us to kind of be like, okay, you're still running your business, got all this content and resources, but let's just be about this now. Yeah. So that's what I wanted to just share as a closing remark on that. Please continue, Zamir.
Okay, thank you so much for that, Lucas. And I hope we're all on the same page and understanding, the reason why. Elena, you saying something?
What's that?
Now,
Oh, I was writing. Okay. I loved the personal development stuff. And I totally understand about processing it and how it does take time, that you can't rush through that necessarily, that we need time to digest it. And I guess, yeah, it felt though dramatically different than bridging the gaps. And so maybe in terms of fast versus slow, maybe slightly more consistency. That's all I would say, just so it wasn't quite such a shock. But this is all hindsight. So I love both of them, really. Thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you for that, guys. Shall we move on to the third question? So on my end, I'm not really able to see the questions, Lucas. I'll just have to wait. Or what has been surprising? Okay, cool, great. Hey guys, so the third question is, you guys can see the screen as well. What has been surprising or beyond your expectations? What blew your mind in the program? Like that one thing that you thought, wow, this is amazing.
Or even surprising,
Yeah,
like
surprising.
unexpected.
I can say that listening to the pitches, how professional so many people were, and how I'm just in awe of so many people's proficiency in utilizing technology and their ideas and putting that out in the world. It was really inspiring.
Thanks, Ellen. Before.
Yeah, man. Just forgive me for this. There's a lady that came on either in June or May. She's operated a cleaning business. She did dry cleaning.
Sis Cuckoo.
Yes, that's the lady from, I think she's from Cape Town. And she found a niche in restaurants and hotels and so forth. I think just for me, it was touching, and I was blown away just by her drive in a male-dominated industry, you know. Yeah, that's my two bits there.
Thank you.
That's good. Okay.
Thank you, Tax. Did anyone else want to go? This can also be based on some of the master classes, such as the example that Defo just gave. Like, can be anything, an activity that we did, a session that we had with an expert or together, anything that happened in the program that you really just thought it was so useful and just really great for you.
Hi everyone. Just joined. Yeah, I just joined now. I hope everyone is well. So I'm trying to catch up. So to this question, I can say for me, like the first session, for phase one, like the bridging the gap and personal development goals. I missed that part, so I just got in during the time of tennis, whereby the pitching thing. So far, like I've learned a lot, like to structure like the pitching structure, like to how to present it at some point. So I think now I'll be able next time maybe for pitching, like to like identify like important points toward like pitching and then be able like to present my business very well. So I still need to go back, I think, to personal development, and then like because some work like I finished it, like especially the goal setting, I finished it, but the problem is that I didn't submit it because I missed the part of creating the folder. I need to create the folder, and then so that all my work, what Lucas has, the Inagram and everything, like the test, the results. So I see the progress of that, like, so that I see that now I'm here, like with you guys as like we are going now to phase 2. So like I have to like catch up, like with those like unfortunately with the bridging of the gap, like the other master classes, I missed them. So I'm willing to continue and then like participate more. So the pitching now like has made me like like I think put me in the way of like knowing we as principal what is what we have to check and then what is needed. So I was very I think enlightened with that, and then uh, I will stop there for now. Thank you.
Thank you so
And
much.
and just to add more, because like I'm new into this Zooming meeting thing, so I'm learning a lot. Yeah, learning a lot because now my partner Nkululeko is the one who introduced me. So we are in together. So he like he's kind of like busy with other stuff, so I have to keep up with the business, like like when we meet, and then I able to tell him as well, like how far did I went, and then like I'm sure like he does check the recordings that you do for us. So yeah, like it's been great. So yeah, I think the feedback like from you going forward, I'm ready for it. Yeah, like I'll try my best like to keep up and catch up with the other stuff. Yeah, thank you, Zami.
Yes, that makes perfect sense, Zize. Thank you. No, for sure. I mean, it's understandable that some of you guys do miss certain activities, but we love the the willingness to continue and to go and watch the recordings and catch up at your pace. I think this is something that we were talking about earlier today, Lucas, that like it's not all the entrepreneurs that are able to make it to the sessions on time and keep up with everything that's happening, but people do make the time. So at least go back and show that they're interested and show that they're willing to continue and keep up with the program. So that's what we also like, because like as you guys can see that sometimes I do like like to check in on you, where you are in terms of the program, how you guys are feeling, even on WhatsApp, because we understand that sometimes maybe some of you are not able to engage like in a group setting, not able to participate in the sessions or be there because of your various businesses. Sizwe, I know that the last time you spoke, you did say that like a lot of the time you spend on the actual farm. But it's good to actually know that even then you're still able to then go back and chat to us and just be open to update us on what it is that you're going through, and if you're missing anything, you like to keep updated. So that's the kind of attitude that we also need from you guys. But we're here as long as you also avail yourself, even if it's afterwards, even if it's after the sessions and it's after everything else that we've done, but just being willing to show up and still show that you have the right kind of mindset to go forward with us.
Okay, thanks.
Great. Anybody else? Beyond expectations, surprising, anything that's just, it's been that great for you? If not, we can move on to the next question, if no one else has got anything to say. Okay, so you guys already know that I think like today's session is like the official, I know I've been saying official, but like the official end of the first phase of the program, going into phase 2. And this is not our program, it's your guys' program. We're just here to facilitate it, to run it through the administration and everything else at the back. but like it's for you guys. So we want to know that like in this program, you guys know that we're going into phase 2, and the theme is go to market readiness or finding product market fit. You know, since we're all done with the personal development stuff, we understand what social entrepreneurship is. You know, we understand our SWOT analysis, a growth will. Now the real stuff is gonna start happening. You know, it's very honing down into the business, understanding your customers, branding, and all of the things you guys are going to see. There's a lot to cover. You know, there's financing to be covered in phase 2. There's legal structures, which is like the next masterclass that we're gonna have. How do you protect your business? What are the legal stuff, that things that you need to consider when you are in business? You know, what is the type of business structure that you're supposed to have? Is it supposed to be PTY, NPO, all of these things? So we just want to make sure that like you guys are supported. You're happy with the content that's coming up in the master classes and the way that we are shaping the program going forward. Please feel free. I think this I believe that like all of you guys have to say something for this one, because we're moving together into phase 2, and it's for you guys, as I mentioned. So as you guys can see, the third okay, sorry, sorry, Lucas. We're actually on the fourth question. The fourth question is, how can this program further support you in your entrepreneurship journey going into phase 2? What do you want to see happen in phase 2?
Yeah, man. I think guidance in ticking all the correct boxes. So, for instance, in product development, if we can just shape up what's needed, and what it means to have a product, you know, because the product is developed, but just ticking the right boxes. I think that's what phase 2 can do.
Great, amazing. Hi, Mpati.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us.
And then they can also
Hello.
help us sort out
Hi, everyone.
Raluca's invoices.
What was that, Defa?
They can also help us sort out Raluca's invoices.
Lucas, what do you have to say for yourself?
This invoicing deal is a big deal, eh?
It's a big deal because you know I rarely receive invoices from people, and every time somebody provides a service, I would say, please don't forget to send the invoice, and nobody sends the invoice, so I would have to drop an invoice to get, you know. So seeing somebody who's consistent, it's quite amazing. Well done.
Well, if you want to incorporate that for your business as well, seeing as you'll be getting your invoices shipped out yourself, let me know. I'll give you some inputs on how we can put that system together.
Yeah. Amazing. Anybody else? Mpati, you had your hand.
Hey, Sanbadan. Hello, Arvi. Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Yeah. Hi. Of course, we're happy to be going to phase 2. So on our side, yeah, it's more, of course, guidance. Since you've been with us, it's been great. But also looking at since our business is also in those stages, things like marketing, that's what we would love to get into, learning, costing, even proper costing of our products as a whole. And yeah, what you even mentioned, I think it's going to be crucial, the legality part, how we protect our logos moving forward, the brand. So that's what I would love to see happening. Yeah, when we go across phase 2.
Thanks, Mpati.
Thank you.
And I can assure you that you're going to see that happening in phase 2.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you.
Anybody else? Anybody else? How can the program further support you going into phase 2? Do continue to also leave comments on the comment section if you're not comfortable speaking.
No, it's okay. I'll put my 2 cents in. I love the one-on-ones. That's the best for me. So, and I gather that there will be more of that. So I'm really looking forward to it. That's pretty much it for me.
Thank you. Thanks, Ellen.
Yep.
Any inputs is much appreciated. Anybody else?
I just wanted to say, but I think Mpati said it when he said marketing. I was thinking more in particular like social marketing. How can we use our social media platforms to further our businesses?
Mhm. Amazing. Thank you so much for that, Aluda. And I like the fact that you guys are raising things that, you know, are very likely to be covered in phase 2. Anybody else? No one else? Are you guys comfortable to move on to the next question?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so with that said, we can move on to the 5th and last question, which is, have you collaborated with other entrepreneurs in the program? And how has this been? So give us as much detail as possible, because at the end of the day, we are trying to build a community, you know, an ecosystem, and we love it when you guys, you know, collaborate with each other. This can even be like a call to ask someone what it is that they're doing in a business if you're curious. It can go as deep as actual collaborations where you guys have met and done business together. This is very crucial, you know, for us, you know, even for reporting purposes. You know, we love to see that you guys are aware of what it is that each and everyone is doing in their business, and being able to find, you know, a way to collaborate and connect with each other. Because at the end of the day, we're building a community for sure. The fall.
Yeah, I haven't collaborated with anyone. But Caesar has touched base with me. You know, just letting me know about the fresh produce that they have. And I've said once one is settled and there's actually a system running, then you can incorporate them into the system.
Amazing.
And yeah, so you know, with food and beverage, it's either you are moving small scale or big scale, but there's always a way to involve everybody.
For sure. Exactly. Thanks for that. Anybody else? Caesar?
Yes. Well, on my side.
Go ahead, Mpati. It's okay. You can
Oh,
go
yeah.
ahead.
Okay, cool. It was a collaboration, a quick one though so far with the guys from Plenty Green. So the collaboration was, yeah, where on my side it was a clientele that I supply with some fresh lettuce, and so it happened. My harvest was still growing at the time, so I wasn't harvesting the lettuce. So I reached out to, especially I did reach out in the group, And then Plenty Grim, they came forward as people who had their a fresh lettuce at that time. And we created a deal where, yeah, we made a transaction where I took some lettuce from them and supplied a client.
Amazing.
So it was great because it was, yeah, that it was even special for that time because the clientele they were showcasing at an event somehow. So yeah, which came out well, and that was the first collaboration that we did so far. But I feel looking forward to more, because hence just to support even my brother. So it's more on, I think if we get settled proper on our side, all of us, then there is great potential, definitely, with fellow change makers on my side that I vision and can see happening. Yes.
Well, for sure. There's definitely potential. I agree with you.
Yeah, quite a lot.
Ellen.
Hi. Okay, so I've collaborated or not with several people. Let's see. Two of them, well, it's been interesting. One of the things that I'm learning just about life is patience around all of this, and things go in waves. So with somebody up in Joburg who is very animal oriented, I would love to collaborate with her, and we have spoken before, and she's certainly given me ideas and help, but we haven't been able to actually go anywhere with that yet. But I have a feeling that we are on the same page, and someday that will come about. So that's one of the things. Another, I've actually had a visitation here over a couple of days with another person, but she actually decided not to be in the program anymore while she was here. So that was interesting too for me, just because it gives me better perspective of what people are looking for and who really are entrepreneurs that can carry on, or is this something some people would dabble with but then realize that it's not for them. So that was an interesting experience, and it was actually quite fun. She was a lovely guest. And the third one, we've been going on and off for a number of months since the beginning of the program, before phase one, during the, bridging the gaps. And she has just recently, like within 48 hours, connected me up with other people. And I think that's what makes this program really important for me, is widening my network. She went to another meeting some time ago and thought about what I was doing, and then has again connected me up with the Sustainability Institute and with a different organization who's connected with them. And that may go much further because it's right in line with where I'm at. So I think on all different levels of these different conversations and collaborations, they might not be with the exact person that I'm collaborating with just yet, but they're leading off, branching off from the basic concept. So I really appreciate that.
Wow, amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that, Ellen. And yeah, for sure, hopefully, all of these collaborations, these potential deals, do end up being like long-term partnerships at the end. And I think most importantly, even if you haven't collaborated with anybody, for the fact that you are being able to see what it is that other people are doing, at the back of your mind when opportunities come along, even after the program, you do know that you have met somebody who is in a certain field of expertise, and then there's potential for collaboration, as Mpati did explain or mention that earlier on. Anybody else?
I don't know if this counts as a collaboration, but I don't think it does. So one person that I been talking to away from the meetings and things is Nicole. So we just exchange emails, but it's not so much business. It's more like a friendly check-in, just to see how the other person is doing, what they're dealing with. Yeah. So that's that.
No, yeah, that's like also connection in a way, just strengthening relationships and friendships, because that's also very important as well. A lot of the time you find that entrepreneurship as a journey can be very lonely at times. So being in this kind of setup and just being able to chat with other people and express how it is that you're feeling, the program won't cover everything and the program won't last forever, but you build relationships, and you can nurture and water relationships to last forever and be long term. And who knows, like in future, bring about monetary value into your businesses as well. And even if that's not the case, as a person, building friendships and relationships is also quite important with like-minded people, positive individuals that are able to carry you through, even in the times when, you're no longer in the program, you're not able to reach out to us and say, this is what I'm going through, but someone is there, that you can reach out because you've developed a friendship. So thank you so much for that as well, Aluda. Great. Caesar, you had your hand on and then you took it down. Do you want to say something?
Yes. With Dennis session, pitching session. So like Dennis suggested someone to check, and then that person likely came back to me, and then yeah, which is Siyabonga. I'm sure you know her, Siyabonga from Abundance Wholesome Food. Yeah. So connected with her. Unfortunately, there are some other requirements she was looking for. We were not meeting them, but we have to go through that process, and then I'm sure after we are done acquiring those requirements, then we'll be connecting with her, and then she referred me to other organizations. So that organization now in their group, and yeah, they are willing to assist, and then just to meet the requirement as a business explain, and then I'm here just because of the pitch session that I had with Dennis. So yeah,
No,
so far is
amazing.
going good. Thanks.
Thank you for that, Caesar. Like it literally can take like one session, one little conversation, for somebody to link you up with someone that they know, because people have friends who have friends. And even if sometimes a deal may not go through, but for the fact that a foundation is laid, everything won't happen at the same time or when you think it's supposed to happen. But for the fact that you have access to those contacts and being able to be in conversations and in rooms with people that otherwise you wouldn't have been able to access those people, that alone, is positive in a way. So thank you guys for sharing all of that. It's amazing. Great. Nobody else? Connections, collaborations with fellow change makers in the program, maybe with alumni as well. Somebody who knows Oribi. If not, Lucas, I think that was the last question. I think you had mentioned that you would want to perhaps touch base a little bit on Babele or maybe phase 2 towards the end of once you've completed the questions.
Yes. Yes, I see we've got 30 minutes. Is there any other further kind of comments, questions, or remarks that you guys want to make before we move forward? Maybe to direct the conversation a little bit. Okay, I'll take the silence as a no. Right. So sorry, I clicked on the wrong thing. Oh, actually, this is the right thing. So we'll be going back onto Babele. And by the way, I think it was yeah, this is one of our alumni. As a point of kind of sharing some insights or sharing very high level the idea of us having an online platform. I think it's important to share with you all that even if we're not active on Babele or we don't have any activities or things that are continuously happening on Babele, you guys have access to the platform and you've got access to all the resources that you've had access to, and more so you've got access to all the people that are sitting or not sitting, but that are on Babele. So this is, for example, one of our alumni. She's got online workshops coming up next week, Thursday, where she'll be talking about the gap licensing. So there's something called the Good Agricultural Practices license that when you get into certain supermarkets or retail markets or at the export market, you need to have in place. And I'm imagining, Sizwe, that might be one of the requirements or something that you needed to get in place when you were in chats with Osia.
Yes, yes.
Yes, because now Osia sells organic produce. And so there's certain agricultural practices that you need to have to certify that that produce is organic and that you are farming it organically. So here's an opportunity, and to Defoe's earlier point around checklists and things to have in place, or a tick box of things to have in place when you're doing product development. This is an example of a domain of like different number of tick boxes or a tick box exercise that you need to partake in order to kind of apply or be eligible to enter a certain market. Yeah, the system is kind of rigged like that, which is not that great. But yeah, the point I'm trying to make is you guys always have access to Babele, and there's things, even though we're not active there, there's things that you can actually get busy with in Babele. So in this phase, we're gonna go back into using Babele, and we're gonna be using Babele not just for your content, but I'll take Lamlela's startup, for example. We'll start to use these other tabs that you see over here, right? So normally you guys would just go here and then you go to program, and that's about, the things that you would do. You wouldn't use the coaching, KPI, discussion, resources, network tabs. Now those are going to become more important. So for some of you, okay, the ones that actually have these already aren't in the room, but KPIs, coaching, resources are going to be the most important tabs moving forward. Obviously also including the program, because you will see that and I'm gonna have another session on this, which will go more in depth in terms of how to shift between the Bridging the Gaps content and the U content, et cetera, because that's not active here at the moment, and I removed it on our other startup as well. But yeah, with regards to these three new tabs that will be very important, The coaching tab will be for some of the one-on-ones that you guys will have with either us or the mentors, depending on how your mentor would like to work. We've suggested to them to use this tab for any sessions that they have with you. And then for our side, some of the one-on-one sessions we're going to have with you moving forward, we're going to start to log that information here. So you'll not only have to kind of remember what was the things that we discussed, but the data will be available here. We'll list what we discussed, what the inputs, outputs, the goals, the outcomes, those one-on-one sessions that we have with you guys and how we're running them and the conversations we're having. Most of that data is going to start being here. Then we've got the KPIs. KPIs also is going to be an area where we'll be tracking a lot more of. You guys submitted the social charter in your social enterprise charter, and in there you had listed like your business objectives, your impact objectives, and together with that you also had indicators of progress. So those who've completed the KPIs, a lot of the information or the information that you've captured as your KPIs in that enterprise charter, or basically based on other sources or other inputs that you've given us, be it via feedback surveys or via even when you join the program. So we've got a lot of data. We're going to synthesize some of it, and we're going to start to list some of the KPIs that you guys have. For those that are coming across this acronym for the first time, KPIs is key performance indicators. So it's like the key matrices you look at in order for you to kind of track your progress. That's why in the check-in survey, we asked, how do you feel about your business progress? How do you feel about your personal progress? And how are you actually tracking that? So you will see in some of if you guys have not completed it yet, you obviously don't know what I'm talking about, but there is a check-in survey you need to complete. And one of the questions is around us having more information so that we can put this together. So when you go back onto Babele and you see your startup, you might see your KPIs already start popping up in the next couple of days, if not next week. And then the other section is resources, right? So some of the resources that you guys have been posting on Babele, resources that we've been asking for you to share in the incubation folder. Some of them you might find here, others you might find just in the incubation folder. For people that aren't able to access the incubation folder, all the resources that we've gathered from you will be listed here. Right, and then discussion and network discussions. This is a tab where you guys can kind of start any discussion that you want. If you want to start a discussion on licensing, or you want to start a discussion on product development, for example, you can start it here, and then you can like tag people to be like, I want this discussion to be private, to public. You can tag it as can create your own tags. Again, like I'm gonna go through this in detail with some examples in the next Babele kind of introduction, or not introduction, but Babele tutorial on these other tabs. And then networks, just for the sake of completion, this is a list of all the different people that you have following you in your team, or people that have been meshed up as mentors. So yeah. That's that on what's upcoming and what you need to be more focused on when you get back on Spark. You guys we're 20 minutes or 10 minutes before the end of the session. Yeah, you guys have any questions, any remarks, or anything additional that you'd like to add?
From my end, I'm good. Thank you very much for the Babele update on that.
Amazing. Don't forget the invoice.
Oh yeah, for sure, most definitely.
Okay, cool. If that's all, I mean, I'll give the stage back to Zamile to kind of round up the conversation. And yeah, from my side, I'm super excited to be going into phase 2. Lots of exciting things happening in the background, and we'll definitely be covering, if not all the areas that you guys have shared that you would like to see come out of phase 2, then you can rest assured that over 90% of that will be covered, and we'll be delving deeper into that. And we'll do our best to kind of be clear in terms of communications or what we're thinking about how we're doing things. And yeah, as usual, if it doesn't make sense or you're feeling a little bit uncertain or like unclear about what is going on, we remain at your open disposal. Please do feel free to reach out to us. You know, we have an open door policy that is continuous, and we try our best to be accessible as much as possible. And yeah, with that said, that's about it from my side. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Lucas. Thank you for the closing marks. I think I'm just gonna ask again, no one else has anything to say, comments, suggestions before we close the meeting? Nobody? Okay. That's okay. Thank you so much, guys, for making the time to be with us for this feedback collection session. It means a lot to us, honestly, for you to take the time and give us this feedback. I know we ask for a lot of feedback all the time. That is because, again, we're trying time and time again, endlessly, to make sure that we check in on you. We know what's going on. We know what you need. We know what you don't like. We know that maybe you are facing challenges when it comes to certain areas in and out of the program as well. There are other ways in which we like to support you even outside of the program. Entrepreneurs who, speak to us with challenges that they're facing, if there's any way, anything that we can help you guys with, we're happy to do that, to connect you, to link you, so thank you so much for taking the time always to participate, because you guys are running actual businesses, actual businesses. But for you to take the time and sit down and just talk and reflect, it means a lot to us. We don't take it for granted at all. I'm also very excited going into phase 2. As Lucas said, there's a lot of content to be covered. Most of the things that you guys have already said that you want to be covered, we're happy to say that according to the plan, it seems like you guys, we will deliver that. Okay, hopefully. So just really excited going into phase 2. I hope you guys are excited as well. And again, thank you so much for taking the time and just always participating and engaging with us in the program. So that would be it from my side. If no one else has anything to say, we can end and round off phase 1 and the session today, right now at this very point. Okay. Thank you so much, guys. Bye.
Cool. Cheers, guys.
Bye.
Yes, everyone. Thank you.